Are you needing some more quick and easy recipes that you can make during the weeknights or anytime you want to make something fast that's simple? Hey friends, my name's Susan and welcome to my home. Today I've got you 4 quick and easy recipes your family's gonna love. I know ours does. So let me go ahead and get this ponytail up and let's get to making some quick and easy recipes. Come on, let's get to cooking. And tonight's supper is going to be about as simple as it comes. I'm going to make some squash and onions in the microwave. You just have to have a microwave safe dish with a lid to cover it. And I'll show you how to do that if you haven't seen it from last year. It's been almost a year since I've done it. I'm going to put some pork chops in the marinade to put on the grill outside because y'all know I'm trying not to heat up my kitchen right now. Whether I can cook it outside or cook it in a crock pot or cook it on the stove real quick, everything has got to be done to where it's not heating it up in here. And the first thing I'm going to start off with is the squash and onion and show you how I do it when I put it in my bowl. Well, I lied. The first thing I'm going to do is put the pork chops in the marinade. I love Dale's seasoning. There's just something about it. You can use it on chicken or on steak or on pork chops, and it makes the best grilled pork chops. And these are humongous pork chops. I mean, they are thick. I'm just going to basically pour me some on top of the pork chops. Make sure that I get both sides well covered. And just let this marinate for a little bit while I am doing up the squash and onions. So this is about ready to sit on the counter and marinate for a little while. Yep, that's going to be some good stuff tonight. Now, whenever it comes to the squash, I like to, of course, wash my squash off and then basically cut the bottom and cut the top off and then make some decent size slices. They don't have to be humongous. I just like to make them to where they're about this thin, this thick, whatever you want to call it. And just go through the squash and do that. I'm only going to do 2 squash, although I do have 4. Because I'm going to try to see how many different squash recipes I can come up with. Since my squash are deciding to go crazy in the garden. Which, you know, that's what happens. So let me go ahead and get this cut up. I'm also going to slice up 1 whole onion. And then it'll be ready to put into the microwave safe dish. And I have gone ahead and peeled the onion and then cut it in half. And now I'm basically cutting slices, which are what I'm going to put into the pan. That way they're all nice and sliced up. Let's get everything into the microwave safe dish. Whenever I put it in the dish, I do like to separate the onions out. That way they can get well dispersed amongst all of the beautiful squash in this pan. Doesn't take but a second to do it, but it makes it taste really good. And the onion basically just goes to being almost nothing. It cooks down so much, but it is so good in with this squash. Now I've divided all the onion out. This is what makes it good. You just sit here and you shake or basically get all the onion and the squash combined to where there's a little bit of onion, a little bit of squash everywhere. Woo! And those are stout little onions, I tell you what. I am going to put in some salt and some pepper. And then go through and do the same little shumble again. And then salt and pepper it one more time. Whoop, that onion decided to leap out. All right, now this is ready for the secret ingredient. Butter. And I'm going to put one on all 4 sides. I say north, south, east, and west. That way you know you've got some on all the areas. And I'm also going to add a little bit of water. This has been 6 minutes in the microwave. All I'm going to do is go in here and kind of rotate all the squash. Make sure that the ones that were in the cooking liquid come up and the ones that weren't go down. And then this goes back in for another 6 minutes. I usually do it about 4 times before I say it's good and done. Well, I just got the pork chops off the grill. They look really good. And just got the squash out of the microwave. So let's get everything plated up. And here you go. Some grilled pork chop, some squash and onions. Now you can't get any more southern than that. And that is looking mighty good. This is my favorite way to eat pork chops. And if you've never tried squash and onions like this, you've got to give them a try. They are so sweet and delicious. And let's make some easy crockpot burritos. Chicken burritos, that is. I've got some rotisserie chicken. I've got half a rotisserie chicken in here. Mainly the dark meat, because the white meat you need for certain things, and the dark meat you can use for other things. This is one of them. Got that. I've got some paste salsa I'm going to put on top, some taco seasoning, rotel, black beans. I've got some southwestern corn, some onions I'm going to add in, Fiesta blend cheese I'm going to put on top, and our bandito burritos. So let's get everything put together in the big old bowl, and we'll start mixing it up. Let's go ahead and get everything mixed in the big humongous bowl. I've got the chicken that I shredded up going in. The rotel is also going in. Black beans I have drained and rinsed are going in. The southwestern corn is going in. I'm also going to add in some taco seasoning, about the equivalent to 1 packet of taco seasoning. Now that is ready to go, other than I do want to add a little onion, because y'all know we love some onion in our stuff, and why not? Because it's going to be good. There we go. I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of taco sauce into the mix, just to get it a little bit juicy. Now we do have the rotel in there that was not drained, which will help kind of get the mix a little bit moister. And you can add a whole lot more meat than I did. It looks like I don't hardly have any meat in there. Oh my gosh. But that was half a chicken. But that's okay. You know me. I'm trying everywhere I can to get Danny to eat his vegetables. And this is a way that it will do it. And of course, if you're a vegetarian, then you don't have to add the meat. So, all right. This is ready to go in the burrito. So let's get it rolled up. Now let's get this burrito rolled up. I am going to go ahead and put about 1/4 of the mixture in the middle of this grande burrito. Make sure there's plenty of chicken in that, because I know Danny will be complaining if there's not. The next thing I'm going to do is fold in the sides and then roll it and push everything. I don't know if you can see it. Push everything back. I'm going to go ahead and tuck the tails here as I push. That way everything is in a nice, wonderful burrito. And this is ready to go in the oven. This is ready to go in the crock pot. I'm going to go ahead and get one more made, and then we'll be ready to put it in. I'm going to go ahead and put the burritos in the bottom of this. I think I'm going to have to put them this way. They ain't going to fit no other way. See if I can get both of them in there, and they fit. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to do is pour a little bit of this paste picante sauce on top, just because I like a little extra spices, and it'll make it nice and wonderfully tasting. There we go. And I'm going to also put some cheese on the very top of this. This is Mexican cheese. Y'all know me. If y'all have been watching any length of time, you know I love my Mexican cheese. I can't do without it, because I do a lot of Mexican recipes. You would think I was Spanish, but I'm not. So I just like the spicy. I love the flavor. This is ready to go on high for an hour, or on low for about 2 hours. I think probably 45 minutes to an hour is plenty. All we're doing is melting the cheese on top. Because it's in the crock pot, you're not going to heat your whole house up, but you're also not going to get the crispy cheese like you would if you put it in the oven. So let's go ahead and get the lid on this and get to going so we can have some supper. And an hour later, this is what it looks like. So let's go ahead and get this on a plate. And here you go, Crockpot burritos. And that's what's for supper tonight. And you can't get much simpler than that. Quick and easy and tastes so good. I saw this recipe on Instagram and it looked amazing. Y'all know I'm going to tweak it the way I do. It is a 1-pan caramelized onion pasta, which is going to be more than 1 pan because I am going to be boiling the noodles probably in another pan and then putting it in, but we will see. I don't have all the ingredients, but I know of another one of these recipes where they used something else, so I might do that. I've got some lemon juice, some sun-dried tomatoes, some paprika, salt, pepper, coconut milk, penne pasta, you know my pasta of choice. I've got some dried parsley, I've got 3 onions, and some garlic cloves. These are the smallest garlic cloves I've ever seen, so I don't know why. I may have to use 2 of them because in the recipe it calls for 1 large one, and yeah, I got little ones. Let's go ahead and start the 1-pan caramelized onion pasta, and let's see what kind of changes I do to the recipe. Let's go ahead and get a few things in the pot. I am going to go ahead and add the onions in the pot. And as I add each of the onions in, I'm going to go ahead and feather them out, which is basically just releasing them from each other. That way they hit the pan and disperse just a little bit. I've added in 2 big old onions. I think that's plenty. I may add another slice or 2 in here just to make sure I've got plenty, because it's just Danny and I. You know, if you had a big family, you'd need more. I'm going to put this 1 little bitty clove of garlic in the middle. That way it can start heating down or heating up once it gets hot. I'm going to go ahead and drizzle some of my olive oil on the onions and the garlic. That way they can be getting nice and fresh. It calls for a 1/2 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. I'm only going to do about a 1/4. Danny and I are not huge sun-dried tomato fans. And I am going to pour a little bit of the sun-dried tomato juice in. Just a little bit. To give it a little bit of the flavor. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper to the onions. A little bit of salt to the onions. Some dry parsley to it. A little bit of paprika to the mix. I'm really thinking about adding in some Italian seasoning. I don't have it on the list of ingredients, but y'all know this is going to be kind of Italian-y. So I think I'm going to add just a little bit. I'm sure the parsley's in this somehow, but you know, a little bit of Italian. Can't go wrong with that. I love Italian food. I hope you're enjoying today's video, and if you are, go ahead and press that button down below and subscribe. Make sure you press the little bell notification and the all. That way you'll get notified each time I put a new video up, so you don't miss any of the good food and fun. Now I'm going to pop this back in the middle. I'm going to put the cover on that and let that go on probably a medium-high for at least 30 minutes. We'll see what it looks like. I've got to get the onions caramelized, and y'all know they take a little bit of time. I could have probably done this in the crock pot, but I wasn't sure about the time. And y'all know I like things that are fast and easy. So let's go ahead and get this going. I've let this saute for quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and get the garlic clove out. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the spinach in. And the heavy cream is also going in. So that'll help that get emulsified in with the onion and what I get out of the garlic clove. Let's get as much of this clove out as we can. I'm going to go ahead and try to squeeze it out into, oh look at that, it squeezes out so easily into the container. I got one left. Are you going to come out? There you go. All out. Now, let's get this all incorporated. It's looking really good. I know I don't have all of the ingredients. I am going to spurt a little bit of lemon juice in there. Just one spurt. Because it's smelling amazing already. I think I've got all of the onions and all of the garlic cloves pretty much meshed in together. Let's go ahead and get the pasta in the mix. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of the pasta into the mix. I'm just basically letting it drain from the pot it came into as I put it into this pot. That way it's not too watery, but will give a lot of texture to the meal. I did make some hamburger meat that I'm going to add to the pasta. I made about a pound. I'm probably going to add about half a pound. That way I have some for later. There we go. And that is smelling amazing and looking really good. So let's go ahead and get some of this on a plate. It smells amazing. I can't wait to try it. It looks so good. And I am not one of those people that can fashion a plate. It's just the way it comes out is the way it looks. I'm going to put on a little bit of extra Parmesan on top. Just a dab. This was an unusual flavor. I did choose to put heavy cream in instead of the coconut milk because I figured Danny would like it better. And I really enjoyed it. Danny didn't care for it much, but I thought it was really amazing. And I saw a recipe on Instagram, I believe it was, that was interesting to me. So we're going to go ahead and make some today. First thing in the morning here, I've got my crock pot ready to roll. I've got some chicken breast, a little bit of garlic powder, some salt and pepper. I will not be using this until we get the chicken out, but I am going to make some Caesar chicken sandwiches. Very simple, very easy, and you just put it in the crock pot. And I'm going to basically fill up the bottom of the crock pot with some chicken breast. These are frozen. But that's fine because whenever they start to cook, the water will come off the chicken breast and it'll make into a wonderful broth. And it'll make the perfect amount of fluid for the chicken breast. I'm going to go ahead and put in some of the garlic powder, just a little bit, and salt and pepper on everything. And now this is ready to go on low 8 hours while I'm going to work. And then I'll show you what I find when I come back. Like I said, this is the way to go. It makes very little water if it's frozen. If you put them in and they're thawed, you will need to add a little bit of water. But this is good. So it's time to go to work. And when I came home from work, this is what I got greeted to. It is nicely cooked. All I've got to do is just separate the chicken with the old-fashioned meat mallet. Y'all know, y'all seen me do it many times. And let it sit here in the juice and absorb some of that wonderful juice that came off the chicken breasts. And then we'll add some good stuff and make us some simple sandwiches. And now that this has absorbed some of the fluid, I'm going to go ahead and add in the Caesar dressing into the chicken. And put a good little bit because you definitely want the Caesar flavor on the chicken. And then mix it up. I'll look and see what the consistency looks like. It is a little bit watery right now, but that's okay. I just need to make sure that we have enough Caesar dressing that it tastes really good. So let me go ahead and let's get this on the bun. And this was so quick and easy. You want a simple, put it together quick meal for supper. This was it, and it tasted amazing. I love a quick and easy recipe, and I know y'all do too. So if you haven't already, press that little button down below and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell and push the all notification so you'll see each time I put a new video up. And until next time, see you then.